Do you think your ability to sing is a bit of a siddhi?
I think it's survival instinct.
Like, as in you're looking a means to pay the bills?
A means to stay alive, to save my miserable ass. That's what it is.
Can we expand this thought?
You know, I started singing with people. Okay, so the last time I saw Maharaji physically so far was in Vrindavan on March 2nd, 1973. The next day I had to get on my plane back to America. He was sending me back to America after 2.5 years. So I was sitting with him and I thought, what am I going to do in America? I've been walking around barefoot in a red ulfi for 2 years. I don't think that's going to work in New York. What am I going to do in America? So I'm arguing with myself. I said, I should ask him. No, don't you ask him. You should have faith. What do you mean faith? I'm going back to America. So finally I blurted out. I said, Baba, how can I serve you in America? He made a face. It looked like he just bit a pickle. He said, if you ask about service, it's not service. Do what you want. Do what I want?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd been celibate for 2.5 years, between the ages of 23 and 26. I knew what I wanted to do, and so did he.
Yeah.
And when he said that, my mind just went, what? And he laughed. He went, so how will you serve me? And he's laughing. He said, do as you wish. That was his last instruction to me. So then I had to leave for Delhi. So I left. I walked across the courtyard, and I did Danda Pranam from across the courtyard. And when I was down like that, I heard my voice in my head, but it wasn't me speaking. And it said, I'll sing to you in America. I went, oh, okay. However, it took me 21 years to start singing to him in America. Because when I left India, he told me, get a year visa so you can stay and get $1,000. We had no money, you know. The people who had money put it into a Hanuman fund, and if you needed some rupees, you took. So get a year visa and $1,000 and then come back. So March, April, May, June, I get a letter from a friend of mine who's with Maharaji. He said, this morning Maharaji came out of his room and he said, where's Krishna Das? And I said, Baba, you send him to America. Nay, tell him to come back. I want to hear him sing. Tell him to come back. He like threw a fit, you know. So my friend wrote to me and said, there's the green light. You can come back now. Instead of going back right away, which was the biggest mistake I ever made. I wrote back and I said, well, you asked me to get a visa. I've applied for the visa. I'm working and making money. Should I come now or should I wait till the visa? And there's one other part to the story. The reason I wrote that letter is because for the first time in 3 years, I had a girlfriend. And I didn't quite want to give that up and run back to India. Right? So I wrote that letter, which was horrible. The first chance I got, I betrayed the only real love I had ever felt. How's that? I had to live with that for so many years. So I wrote that letter saying, well, you know, I'll come back right away if you want, but thinking I could get laid for a couple of weeks extra. I had to live with that for a long time. And so I got a letter back. Said, Maharaji says, come in December. This was now June, right? come in December. I thought, okay, I'll come in December. He left the body in September. And I was left with that. The great devotee, the one who claims to love his guru so much, the first chance he gets, he betrays that love.
Do you still look at it as a betrayal even today?
Yeah, sure.
After so many years?
Yeah.
But
I don't see it, I mean, it doesn't hurt me the way it did. You know, we have these vasanas of our mind, these ways we think, our karmas, the way we see the world. We're not free beings. We don't make free choices. All our choices are conditioned responses to one thing or another. You want this, you do this. You don't want this, you do this. It's all in response to what we want, what we don't want. And so the first chance I had to overcome, he gave me that chance. Let's say, to call it a betrayal is a little bit intense, you could say, but he was giving me a chance to overcome my own stuff and come right back to the love. But I wasn't ready. I have to live with that. That's okay. We're here. We wouldn't be here if that didn't happen. Let's put it that way. One thing leads to another. So it's all okay. And I'm okay with it now. But it took a lot of years.
So the pain of his loss led to some kind of growth.
Absolutely.
For you.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? That's what you're saying, that we wouldn't be here if that had not happened.
Yeah, absolutely. It threw me into a depression. A lot of very self-destructive behavior for many, many, many years.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.